What's up, gamers? GamerDad here. This is a guide to help you complete all of the Week 8 weekly quests. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. So, first up, we've got the challenge, throw cow catchers or off-road tires. You need to do this three times. So, for this one, I recommend that you go over to Chonkers Speedway. And if you're familiar with the building where Stashed is hanging out, I recommend you go there. You'll see me land here. Now, at Chonkers Speedway, there are tons of tires, which, you can throw, and there's also cow catchers here quite often in either the building right below me or the building off to the right. So this is a really good place to do this, as well as there's tons of loot to set you on your way once you complete this challenge. So come here. It can't hurt to grab a weapon right off the bat, just in case. And now what you're going to do is, any place you see tires, like right here, you're going to pickaxe them, and then it turns into that. Pick up that tire, and then aim and throw. So you repeat that process 3 times. Just as a little demonstration, you cannot do it with the same set of tires a second time. But here you go. You can also hit a tire rack. It will break down into this tire, and again, aim, throw, done. Now, here's another stack of tires. I unintentionally bounced off them there, but you just pickaxe them again, aim, throw, complete for the 3rd time. Nice and easy. 3 of 3 completed. And now we can move on to the next challenge. Next up, we have deal damage to opponents using shotguns from 15 meters away or less. So this is a super easy one. You're going to go somewhere. Recommend going right off the battle bus. In this case, I like Chrome Jam Junction. Rocky Reels or Fort Jonesy is another great location. But I like Chrome Jam because it's fairly spaced out. There's lots of chests. There's a ton of ground loot. I had to search around a tiny bit, which is quite annoying, just for me to find a shotgun. But there's enough people landing. I can hear them fighting. I can hear them walking around. So now that I've got a shotgun, I'm just quickly running around until I find somebody. Here's someone who's taking a shot at me. Got some damage on me, kind of annoyingly there. So I come over here. I know, and I can also hear somebody running around, so I'm kind of just waiting to see where they are. So here's one. The nice thing is you don't have to be too far away. Hitting someone from far away is a bit of a pain of a challenge, but hitting from a close range or less makes it really, really easy. So I'm just going to go. I've heard 2 people over here fighting. And so I'm shooting a wee bit wild. I'll admit that. But here we go. Get the rest of that damage on this second player. And that challenge is now complete. So that's 2 challenges down, and we're now ready to move on to the next one. So next up, we have collect weapons from eliminated players. So I could have done this with the challenge I just showed you there. However, I wanted to keep it as a separate video. So again, this time I'm going to Chrome Jam Junction, and this is super simple. All you need to do is eliminate a player and pick up 1 weapon from them if they've got it, and maybe if they've got 2, boom, you can actually just get it done. So the only problem with doing this challenge right off landing from the battle bus is you got to make sure you give a player a chance to get a weapon, or you're going to eliminate them and not be able to get a weapon from them. So in this case, I'm just getting myself prepped here. I've got some weapons. Kind of waiting. I can hear people coming in, landing. We're straight off the battle bus here. Shooting a little bit wild. I mean, hey, it's not easy when you're making videos. It's easy to criticize my firing there, but try focusing on your challenge and filming a video, and it makes it a little more complicated. So that's 1 of 2, and at this point I can hear someone else nearby. So we get that first shot on them. Now it's time to just destroy this build and take them out. So follow them here. Get that shot. They've dropped 2 weapons there. Pick up that weapon. Challenge is now complete. I probably could have actually got both weapons here. I'm assuming it'll let you do the challenge getting 2 weapons from the same player. Next up, search produce boxes, ice machines, or coolers. So this one's actually quite easy to do. I got my first one as I was at Chrome Jam doing another challenge. But if you come to the restaurant here at Greasy Grove, you'll be able to find 5 produce boxes at least. I'm going to show you more than 5 of them here. So I recommend coming here just opening a bunch of produce boxes and getting the challenge complete. There's also other places where you could go to find, there's lots of coolers if you want to attack coolers over at Rocky Reels, but watch this. When you come here to Greasy and you come in the restaurant, there is at least 2 boxes right here. I've sometimes seen 3. So get those 2, then come on downstairs, and again, there is usually an absolute minimum of 3 produce boxes here. So there's 1, there's 1 more. So that makes 5 for me, and my challenge is now complete. But as you'll see, I'll turn to the right here, and you'll see that there's another produce box just sitting here on one of these other shelves. So right there. And then as well, and so that would have been the 5th one. If you'd just come here, you would have had no problem getting 5. And if we go up 1 floor above, here's 2 more produce boxes directly above on these shelves. So in this case, there was 7 produce boxes at this restaurant at Greasy Grove. Next up, hit an opponent with a Firefly jar. So this one is also pretty easy. 2 ways to get a Firefly jar. Annoyingly, you should be able to come to Fort Jonesy right here and talk to Relaxed Fit Jonesy, I believe it is. He's within this building. Every time I came here, though, he wasn't here. I swear that he was this was one of the most common spawn spots at Fort Jonesy. But every time I've been coming here lately, this NPC is not here. But if you do find him here, he will sell you a Firefly jar. I've got it, you know, I definitely have seen it before. That's the easiest way to find the Firefly jars. Otherwise, you want to walk in like a wooded area, and you're going to look for the little orange dots kind of buzzing around. So, since the NPC is not here, this vehicle is often here, and now we're going to go on a mission and try to find Firefly jars that we can actually collect. Now, they do seem to congregate in areas that are wooded. But for me, I've actually found Fireflies quite often just outside of Chrome Crossroads. And if you pay careful attention here, you can already see them kind of in the distance here. There's those little orange glows right beneath the trees. So this area and around this POI itself, I've often found Fireflies. So you walk up to them here, you'll see the collect show on your screen. And in this case, you can collect, like, I think it was like 4 of them I end up collecting here. Now, you just need to collect them, and then you need to throw them at a person. Super annoyingly, I do this very well, collect these, and I end up in the crossfire of 2 different people, and I do get killed as I complete the challenge. So, you know, it's a little dirty. It's not as clean as I would have liked. But I like the idea of getting a couple just in case you don't get it. I've hit it there. It takes a long time to show on the screen. But here you go. There's the challenge complete. Like I say, sadly I died, but oh well. Can't win them all. So next up, mark a weapon, a vehicle, and a fish in a single match. So I've got a great strategy for this one here, and that is coming over to the reality tree. Now, right where my marker is there, this is that little parking lot. There's almost always a vehicle here. So come here off the battle bus, you're going to land, and you're going to mark the car right away. Another cool thing is there's tons of ground loot and tons of chests, so you'll have no problem marking a weapon. And similarly, there is also almost always a freezer here. So if you do it right off the hop, you should be able to find a fish there. So again, there was multiple cars. Mark that car. On to the next one. There is almost always a freezer here. You know, maybe 50% of the time or more. So then when the fish comes out, you just simply mark that. So there's my fish. Now, anywhere you're going to find ground loot or you're going to open up a chest. And this, you know, I had kind of bad luck here. And I did have a player landing around me. I did not want to die and have to redo my challenge. So I can see a weapon in the distance there. So I'm coming over here. And all we got to do now is mark that weapon. And boom, there's the challenge complete. This one is quite simple. And you should have no trouble completing it. Like I say, come over to the reality tree here and all should work out well for you. Next up, launch into the air using launch pads in different matches. So you need to come in 3 different matches. And here's the deal. You can go find yourself a launch pad on the ground and then deploy it. That's one way to do it. Or you can actually just come to an area like the Rave Cave. There's multiple launch pads at the Rave Cave. I'm going to show you one right off the bat here. And this is the simplest and fastest way to do it. Sure, you might find a launch pad in a chest or on the ground, but that's going to be kind of fluky or you're going to have to really hunt them down. So I suggest coming here 3 times in a row to the Rave Cave, you know, starting your round here. If you want, there's actually some good chests at this particular location, so it's a pretty good location to start at. Get yourself some loot and some weapons, and then here we go. This launch pad will always be here. And it's nothing complicated. You simply just bounce on it, launch, and you're going to have 1 of 3 complete. Now you just need to, finish up your match if you want, or you can end the match and restart up again. That's all I'm going to do here, because I'm just interested in completing my challenges. So again, at the Rave Cave, here's a second spot, and there's at least 4 here, by the way. But here's one. You can already see it there. I'm coming in off the battle bus. So this location, like I say, it's just on the opposite side of the Rave Cave POI, right on the edge of the cliff. And so all you're going to do, bounce off that launch pad. Boom, that's 2 of 3. And then you're going to go and either complete a match, or you're going to just reboot, start another match up. And in this case, I'm just coming back to the same one for a 3rd time. I'm going to bounce on this, and my challenge is complete. So I do hope this guide has been helpful for you. I hope you've completed all your quests quite efficiently. Please drop a like on the video, leave me a comment, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. I greatly appreciate the support. Have a great day until the next video. This is GamerDad out.